The narcissist does not forget. This is the first and most important fact to understand. While a healthy person experiences conflict, processes it, and eventually moves forward, the narcissist builds a permanent internal record of every slight, every criticism, and every moment someone refused to validate them. The human brain processes social rejection through the same neural pathways it uses for physical pain. When a narcissist feels ignored, criticized, or exposed, the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex fires, the identical region that lights up when someone breaks a bone. But unlike a healthy brain that learns from rejection and adjusts behavior, the narcissist's brain rewrites the event entirely. The insult becomes an attack, the criticism becomes a betrayal, the boundary becomes a declaration of war. And once that record is created, it never leaves. The silence of a narcissist is never empty. Most people mistake quiet for peace. They see a person who has stopped arguing and assume the conflict has ended. This assumption is dangerous. When a narcissist goes silent, they are not resting. They are not reflecting. They are not reconsidering their behavior. The narcissist's silence is always strategic. The brain releases dopamine during anticipation, not just during reward. Waiting to strike creates more neurological pleasure than striking immediately. The narcissist knows this without knowing the science. They have learned through years of manipulation that patience produces better results than outbursts. So they wait, they watch, they collect information while the other person relaxes into false safety. What does the narcissist do during this silence? They build a case. Every past argument, every old text message, every forgotten mistake, all of it gets pulled into a private archive. The narcissist's memory is not accurate, but it is detailed. They do not remember what actually happened. They remember what makes them look right. The brain's prefrontal cortex rewrites memories during recall, and the narcissist's brain does this constantly. A statement like, "I need some space," becomes, "You abandoned me when I needed you most." A boundary like, "Please don't speak to me that way," becomes, "You tried to control and humiliate me." The silence gives them time to reshape reality completely. By the time they speak again, they believe their own version absolutely. The revenge of the narcissist follows a pattern so consistent it could be predicted by a machine. First comes the withdrawal of all positive attention. The narcissist stops smiling, stops asking questions, stops providing the validation the other person once received. The brain processes this withdrawal through the same scarcity mechanism that makes gambling addictive. Intermittent reinforcement, receiving a reward sometimes but not always, creates the strongest possible attachment. The narcissist removes the reward entirely. This sudden absence creates withdrawal symptoms in the other person's nervous system. They feel anxious, confused, desperate to understand what changed. That desperation is the opening the narcissist needs. Second comes the indirect attack. The narcissist will never confront directly when silence works better. They will mention the other person's flaws to mutual friends. They will post vague statements online that only the target understands. They will show up late, cancel plans, or forget important commitments. Each small attack lands like a pinprick. Alone, each one means nothing. Together, they produce a slow bleed of confidence. The brain's anterior cingulate cortex tracks social standing constantly. Each small rejection registers as a tiny drop in status. Over weeks and months, these drops accumulate. The target begins to doubt their own perceptions. They ask themselves, "Am I being too sensitive? Did I actually do something wrong?" This self-doubt is exactly what the narcissist wants. Third comes the opportunity. The narcissist waits for a moment of weakness, a bad day at work, an illness, a fight with someone else, and then they strike. They do not attack with anger, they attack with confusion. A casual comment that sounds kind but carries hidden cruelty. A question that seems innocent but forces the target to defend themselves against something they never did. The brain's amygdala activates during unexpected social threats, flooding the system with cortisol. This response makes clear thinking almost impossible. The target stumbles over explanations. They apologize for things they did not do. They promise to change behaviors that were never a problem. The narcissist watches this confusion with satisfaction. They have won without ever raising their voice. The narcissist does not seek apology. This is a critical misunderstanding. Most people believe that conflict ends when someone admits fault and says they are sorry. The narcissist has no interest in apologies. An apology gives the target closure. It allows them to move on. The narcissist wants the opposite: endless, permanent, unresolved debt. When a narcissist extracts an apology from someone, they store it as proof. They will use that same apology months or years later as evidence of the other person's guilt. You admitted you were wrong before, so you are wrong again. The brain's memory systems do not distinguish between past and present when emotions are high. The narcissist knows this instinctively. They reactivate old wounds by simply mentioning them, and the target feels the same shame and guilt as the first time. Strategic forgetting is a weapon the narcissist uses constantly. They will forget promises they made. They will forget agreements they broke. They will forget the exact words they said that caused harm. But they will never forget anything the other person did wrong. This selective memory serves two purposes. First, it keeps the target permanently off balance. The narcissist seems reasonable when they say, "I don't remember saying that," but they are not being honest. They are erasing their own accountability. Second, it creates a double standard where only the target's memory is questioned. The brain's pattern recognition systems detect this imbalance eventually, but by then, the target is too exhausted to fight. The most dangerous moment with a narcissist is not the fight. The most dangerous moment is when the target decides to leave. A narcissist who senses abandonment shifts strategies completely. The cold silence becomes frantic contact. The indirect attacks become desperate pleas. The brain's insular processes loss and separation as physical threats. The narcissist experiences potential abandonment not as sadness, but as survival panic. They will say anything to keep the target close: promises to change, admissions of fault, temporary displays of the warmth that once existed. These displays are not real. They are emergency responses designed to stop the loss. Nothing more. Once the target stays, the narcissist returns to silence and control within days or even hours. The aftermath of a narcissist's silence leaves permanent changes in the target's brain. Prolonged exposure to unpredictable social punishment creates a state of hypervigilance. The target starts scanning every interaction for hidden danger. They analyze facial expressions. They second-guess neutral comments. They apologize before anyone asks. The brain's default mode network, the system active during rest and self-reflection, becomes locked onto threat detection. There is no off switch. The narcissist may be gone, but the pattern remains. This is the true damage, not the arguments, not the insults, the slow rewiring of a healthy brain into a survival machine. Here is what the narcissist fears most: not exposure, not criticism, not even abandonment. The narcissist fears irrelevance. The brain processes social status through the ventral striatum, the same region that responds to money and food. High status creates pleasure. Low status creates pain. But no status, complete, total, unquestioned irrelevance, creates something worse than pain. It creates non-existence. The narcissist would rather be hated than forgotten. They would rather be attacked than ignored. A person who leaves and never looks back, who feels nothing toward the narcissist, who builds a life where the narcissist has no role and no space. This person terrifies the narcissist more than any enemy ever could. The silence after leaving must be total. Any contact, even angry contact, feeds the narcissist's need for relevance. A single text message that goes unanswered still gave the narcissist attention when they read it. A single phone call that ends in screaming still gave the narcissist proof that they matter. The narcissist's brain does not distinguish between positive and negative attention. Both activate the same reward circuits. Both confirm that the target still thinks about them. Total silence, no response, no reaction, no acknowledgement of existence, starves those circuits completely. The narcissist will escalate. They will try new tactics. They will beg, threaten, or pretend to change. Each escalation is a sign that the silence is working. The only failure is responding. The narcissist's greatest weapon is not cruelty. Cruelty requires emotional investment. The narcissist's greatest weapon is indifference dressed as engagement. They appear to listen while calculating. They appear to care while collecting data. They appear to love while building leverage. The target's brain releases oxytocin during moments of perceived connection, the same chemical that bonds mothers to infants and partners to each other. The narcissist triggers this release intentionally through warm words, physical touch, and false vulnerability. But they do not feel the oxytocin themselves. Their brains produce less of this bonding chemical naturally. They can trigger it in others without experiencing it themselves. This asymmetry is the source of their control. The target becomes chemically attached to someone who cannot attach back. The final truth about narcissistic silence is this: it works because the other person still cares. A narcissist cannot silence someone who feels nothing. They cannot manipulate someone who expects nothing. They cannot control someone who wants nothing from them. The power of silence collapses the moment the target stops wondering what the narcissist thinks. The moment the target stops hoping the narcissist will change. The moment the target accepts that the warm, loving person they once knew was never real. Only a mirror reflecting what they wanted to see. That acceptance produces a silence of its own, not the tactical silence of a predator waiting to strike, but the peaceful silence of a person who has stopped playing a game they never agreed to join. The narcissist cannot survive in that silence, and that is the only truth they will never admit.